Detective James Cooper stood at the edge of Mirror Lake, watching the morning fog roll across the still water. The usually peaceful lakeside town had been shaken by a series of strange events over the past week. 3 valuable paintings had vanished from locked homes around the lake, leaving no signs of forced entry. "Detective, you need to see this," called Officer Thompson, waving from the deck of the lakeside Miller mansion. Cooper walked up the wooden steps, his experienced eyes taking in every detail. 3rd painting had disappeared from this house last night, but something was different this time. "The security cameras caught nothing," Mrs. Miller explained, wringing her hands. "The alarm never went off. It's like the painting just vanished into thin air." She pointed to the empty space above the fireplace, where her prized Turner landscape had hung for 20 years. Cooper examined the wall carefully. Unlike the other 2 houses, here he found something interesting: a few drops of water on the hardwood floor beneath where the painting had been. He pulled out his notebook and added this detail to his growing list of clues. All 3 houses faced the lake. Robberies occurred between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. No signs of forced entry. No alarm triggers. All security cameras showed static during the theft times. Water drops found at the latest scene. "Mrs. Miller, did anyone new gain access to your house recently?" Cooper asked, still studying the floor. "Well, we had some workers here last month to fix the dock after the storm damage. And the window cleaners came last week. They do all the lakeside houses this time of year." Cooper's interest piqued. "The window cleaners, did they work on the other affected houses too?" "Oh, yes. They do all the houses around Mirror Lake. They're from the new company in town, Crystal Clear, I think." After interviewing the other victims, Cooper discovered they'd all used the same window cleaning service. But background checks on the company and its employees revealed nothing suspicious. He was missing something. That night, Cooper decided to stake out the lake. He positioned himself in a hidden spot with a clear view of the remaining lakeside houses with valuable artwork. The fog rolled in thick, making the lake's surface disappear into the darkness. At 2:30 a.m., he noticed something unusual. A small boat, nearly invisible in the fog, was moving silently across the lake. As it approached one of the houses, Cooper saw someone in dark clothes climb onto the dock. But instead of breaking in, the figure did something unexpected. They began setting up what looked like window cleaning equipment. Cooper watched, fascinated, as the person used a long pole to reach the 2nd-story window. But this was no ordinary window cleaning. Pole had some sort of device attached that was interfering with the security system's signals. Within minutes, the window silently opened from the inside. The detective had seen enough. He radioed for backup and moved in. The thief, hearing approaching footsteps, tried to escape back to the boat, but Cooper was faster. In the struggle that followed, both of them fell into the lake. When Cooper emerged from the water, minutes later with his handcuffed suspect, he finally understood the whole scheme. The thief was Michael Tang, owner of the Crystal Clear Window Cleaning Company. He had used his legitimate business to map out the houses and security systems. During the cleaning jobs, he had installed tiny devices on specific windows that could override the electronic locks and security systems when activated. The water drops Cooper had found weren't from the cleaning, they were from Tang's wet equipment when he entered through the windows at night. He used the lake for silent approach and escape, and the fog provided perfect cover. The static on security cameras was caused by his electronic interference devices. "How did you figure it out?" Officer Thompson asked, as they loaded Tang into the police car. Cooper smiled, wringing water from his coat sleeve. "It was the water drops that first caught my attention. They made no sense in a house with no forced entry unless someone came in from outside. Then I realized all the stolen paintings were visible from the lake. Our thief needed a way to know which houses had valuable art, plus access to study their security systems. The window cleaning company gave him both. By dawn, all 3 paintings had been recovered from a hidden compartment in Tang's boat. The residents of Mirror Lake could rest easy again, knowing their art was safe and the mystery had been solved. As Cooper watched the sun rise over the now peaceful lake, he couldn't help but admire the cleverness of the scheme. It was criminals like this that kept his job interesting. Looking at his reflection in the mirror, like surface of the lake, Cooper smiled. Sometimes the best mysteries were solved, not by what people could see, but by noticing the small details that seemed out of place, like a few drops of water on a perfectly dry floor.